Hello, good morning, and welcome to Succah Daf. What daf is it today?
Lamed.
Daf Lamed. We're starting a new parak today. Lulav Ha'Gazul.
Ha'Gazul.
Ha'Gazul? You said Gadol before. Shmuel told me it was Lulav Ha'Gazul. I thought it was Lulav Ha'Gazul. Shmuel, when you learned Lulav Ha'Gazul in yeshiva, what was the atmosphere like?
I want to tell you a story when we were little
Let's
kids.
hear a story.
Our principal came in. We started Lulav Ha'Gazul. He said,
Yeah.
Lulav Ha'Gazul. He said, there's a Musar state. He was Rabbi Goldstein. Rabbi Yaakov Goldstein.
Okay.
And he was a Talmud
That's
of
all. Right.
So he said, Lulav Ha'Gazul. In the middle of the word is Lamed Beis Lev.
You mean the first letter and the last letter of Lulav?
No, the word Lulav, Lamed Beis, the last two letters
Right.
of Lulav is Lamed
Oh,
Beis.
Lamed Beis, okay.
And on one side is Lamed Vav,
Right.
his, and the other side is Ha'Gazul. So that's what the person is in this world. He's in Leiv, and Leiv is in the middle, and on one side is the Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer HaTov. Loi, the Yetzer Tov says you should be
For yourself.
you should be a tzaddik, and the Ha'Gazul, and the Yetzer Hara wants to steal the Leiv.
Wow, this is a great vort.
And we have to
listen. You're hearing here first, and Shmuel is telling you that you're supposed to live life for yourself. Low. The Yetzer Tov is living life for yourself, not doing chesed, not being a nice guy to anybody. You live life for yourself. Low. That's what Shmuel. That's what Shmuel learned in second grade. What grade did you learn that? Oh, you were at least fifth grade. I don't think
seventh grade, isn't it?
Seventh grade. So basically, you have to fight. The Yetzer Tov should beat your Yetzer Hara. And we're coming up to the month of Elul. Elul is going to be on Sunday, right?
Elul is also Gematria Lulav. I mean, with the Koidel, Elul and Lulav is the same
It
Gematria.
also has Lo, also.
Lulav, Elul is equals 68, 67, and Lulav is 68.
Very close.
Chaim, life is 68 also.
Wow. So basically, if you want life, you live for yourself.
What does that mean?
You live for yourself. You worry about your own ruchnius.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you worry about yourself. You worry, make sure you're massacring yourself. Who comes first, you or your friend?
So why can't you find one which is a prize winner?
Who comes first, me or you? All right,
Okay,
let's start the parak. All right, Lulav Ha'Gazul, a lulav that was stolen, v'hayavish, or it was dried out. Puzzle. We're going to see why Lulav Ha'Gazul is puzzle. Yavish is puzzle because it's not called hadar. It says pre-it's hadar. It has to be a beautiful fruit. If it's dried out, it's not beautiful. Shalashera v'shalanidachas is puzzle. Let's say it's shalashera. Ashera means that it was from a tree, a lulav tree, that was bowed down to, that they worshipped. It's avodah zara. Right? The Gemara thinks to know what the reason for that. Shalanidachas. What's Iranidachas? Iranidachas is a city that's burnt down. Most of the people there were doing avodah zara, so therefore sin's going to be burnt down. It's only l'sreifa. It's going to be burnt down, so therefore it's like it's already burnt and it lacks a shiur. Lulav, we're going to see, needs a shiur of arba tvachim. Nektam. Little feisty over here.
Bit, what do you call it? That's a little like far-fetched why he has a lulav. I'm saying it's not very common to find anything. If you even look for Iranidachas, it would be hard to find one. You know what I'm saying?
Find what?
Find the Iranidachas. It's not something you just every day. You don't just a chance upon Iranidachas. It's not.
I heard Tel Aviv was going to be Iranidachas. They're running the competition. It's in Tel Aviv and Cholon. We're not sure yet. I'm joking.
Okay, puzzle. Okay, puzzle.
Niktam Rosho. Let's say the top of the lulav, the tiomis, was chopped off. Again, this is a tool of hadar. Hadar is puzzle for 7 days. The katum creates hadar. Kabos morim shivas yamim. If it's not beautiful, it's puzzle for 7 days. Nifratu olav, puzzle. If the leaves were completely detached from the lulav, it has various leaves that are detached. Puzzle, it's puzzle again hadar. It's not beautiful. Nifradu olav. If the leaves were not broken off, but they're just swaying. It's a little loud in here. People are very animated with the Kol Torah here. Ben Azmanim and Telstone. Kol Torah is reaching new heights. People are donating money left and right. People are donating a shekel, half a shekel, half of a shekel.
Speak for yourself. Okay.
I give 100 shekel actually. You should be as mine. How much did you give?
Nothing.
Hey, Shmuel.
You made
Shmuel,
me think. You
Shmuel
make
does
me think.
for low. He lives for himself. He keeps his money for himself. All right.
Nifrdu olav.
Nifrdu olav. Let's say the leaves became bent outwards, right? They weren't like close to the stem, to the middle part, tiomis. So then it's kosher because it's still attached. He says in order to beautify it, Rita says you need an egg, so therefore tie it on top, so therefore it looks nicer. Sini hara barzal ksheros. If you have these lulavs that came from hara barzal, we'll see in the corner where that is, a place in Eretz Yisrael, they're kosher. These are where the leaves are not long enough to cover the leaf on top of it. Lulav sheyesh bo shlosha tvachim gdei lanei bo kosher. If a lulav is telling you the shiur of a lulav, it has to have 3 tvachim. The stem, starting from where the stem is, it has to be 3 tvachim tall. Plus, you need a tefach gdei lanei bo in order to wave it, that it should be taller than the hadas and the rovos. The hadas and the rovos have to be shlosha tvachim, so it wants to be an extra tefach higher. The minimum shiur for a lulav from the spine
Because the
is 4 tvachim.
What? Where's the tefach? Where's the extra tefach?
On top. It has to extend above the aravos and the hadasim in order to, the halacha. Yeah. All right. The Gemara says kapasik v'tani loshna b'yom tov rishon loshna b'yom tov sheni. The Mishnah seems to say it doesn't matter whether it's Yom Tov Rishon or Yom Tov Sheni, which is Chol HaMoed. Doesn't make a difference. Bishlam Yavesh, the psul of Yavesh, where it's dried at Hadar Ba'in of a lake, you need it to be beautiful, and that's a psul for 7 days. Al Ha'Gazul, but if it's stolen, Lulav Ha'Gazul is possible for 7 days. Bishlam Yom Tov Rishon, Dichsiv Lachem Mishal Lachem. It's L'Kachim Lachem. It has to belong to you. It has to be yours. When you steal it, it's not yours. Till Yom Tov Sheni, but on the first day of Chol HaMoed, and the rest of the Succah, Amai lo, why is it possible? I'm Rabbi Yechon, Mishum Mishum Yenuchai, Mishum Dahavalei.
Mitzvah abo.
What's a mitzvah b'avavei, Shmuel?
Because you stole it. What do you mean? The guy stole it. He's gonna steal it and then he's gonna do a mitzvah with it. It sounds crazy. It's like the ends don't justify the means.
Right, that's the svara. Exactly. Hit on the head.
Yeah.
The ends don't justify the means. That's right.
Very nice.
Shmuel.
See that, David? He liked it.
It's a chiddush.
You know, David?
David, מה אתה חושב? מה הפסול של מצווה? תגיד שלום לקמרה. Shalom. For all you watching at home, אנחנו מעריכים דוד להיות חלק מהשיר פה היום, והוא, מה הטעם של מצווה בעבירה? למה יש פסול במצווה בעבירה? מה אתה חושב? אתה לומד בישיבה לכמה שנים? למדת בישיבה לכמה שנים? אתה לא לומד בישיבה. הוא עובד. מה הפשט? מה הפסול במצווה בעבירה? שמואל אמר משהו.
כן. לא, אני אמרתי שזה, לא, פשוט שאתה עושה מצווה, איך הוא עושה מצווה? הוא עושה עבירה. כן. זה לא דרך יושר. לא? כן.
הוא אמר, ends לא justify means, meaning מה שבסוף לא מצדיק מה שהיה.
אוקיי, אבל
יש פסול.
כן.
האם מצווה בעבירה פסול דאורייתא או פסול דרבנן?
הוא אומר גמרות, הוא יודע להגיד גמרות.
זה פסול דאורייתא או פסול דרבנן? יש 2 תוספות במסכת סוכה.
יש בברוכת.
מה ההבדל בין סוכה גזולה למצווה בעבירה?
שאלה בשויפר מותר, נכון?
כן, אז כל...
עצם
אי אפשר לגזול הכל, אין גזל בכל.
בכל.
כן.
זאת אומרת, זה הכל, בדיוק, המצווה שם זה הכל, אז ממילא אין שום... עכשיו, בברוך יש, הרי זה מנייץ, כן?
very good.
עכשיו, על שופר גזול הוא לא מברך מסתומר.
יש סתירה בתוספות, תוספות בדף למד אומר שמצווה בעבירה זה פסול דאורייתא. ודף ט' הוא אומר שזה פסול דרבנן. כן. אחר כך זה תוספות, באותו סוגיה, מה עושים? איך מכריעים את זה?
דף למד ודף...
כן. אני כותב שיר, אני כותב ספר. אפשר לומר שאני שמעתי מפי דוד?
לא אמרתי
Okay, Reb David, who Adam Gadol?
גדול. שכוח דוד. אם אתה רוצה לצרף, לומר משהו, תבוא. שכוח. Alright. שונה המצווה באה באווירה. שנאמר, it says a mitzvah באווירה. The end Jones judges by the means. שנאמר, וישם גזול ועש הביסח ועש החולה. It says...
About the cows.
Wait a second.
Oh, I thought you were talking
What about the
things.
cows?
You're learning about cows. That's
Someone's
funny.
talking about cows over here. Alright, we're talking about Gazal as we say. You bring a cow, which is stolen, or it's lame, or it's sick.
It's sick.
Gazal dumya pisech. It says two things in this pasuk. It says stolen, and it says pisech, a lame one, it can't walk well. Ma pisech leisei takanta. It has a mum and a mum kavua, so it doesn't have a takana for a korban. Av Gazal leisei takanta. Lo shna lifnei yesh, lo shna leachar yesh. Doesn't have a takana even if there's yesh, right? Well, normally, in order to be kona something, you need gazel, you need yesh, you need the bialim to give a hope on it. So this pasuk tells you because it's a mitzvah b'avera, even though normally gazel would be nickness to you and it would be considered yours, lachem, it's really considered yours because after yesh, it belongs to you. If the owner gave up hope, it belongs to you. Still, nonetheless, there's a psul of mitzvah haba b'avera. Where we know that from? Something else. It's a svara pshuta, like Shmuel says, svara pshuta. The ends don't justify the means. So the word is bishlam malifna yesh. Before yesh, can't bring a korban that's stolen. Adam kiyakrim mikem amarachman. Has to belong to you. V'lav didehu mikem. El achar yesh hakan yebi yesh. You're konid. El mishum dahavle mitzvah bavera. Amar Rabbi Yechon mishum Rabbi Shimon Yochai ma'idich siv kini Hashem oe mishpat zone gezel ba'ola. I love judgment. I hate gezel. I hate theft in a korban ola. Mashal amelech basar adam. It's a mashal to a regular human king. Shaya over al beis hamechas. He was passing by the place where they collect taxes. Amar la'avadav tunu mechas lamuchsim. He said, give a tax. He was going through the bridge. He paid a toll. Amar lov alo kol mechas kulo shalcha. Why do you have to give a toll? It all belongs to you anyway. Amar lahem mimeni gilmudu kol ovrei drachim. Everyone should learn from me, and they shouldn't remove themselves from giving taxes. Really, the korban belongs to me, right? It belongs to Hashem. Learn from me, and they'll remove themselves from gezel. This is the makor, the svara, the mashal of mitzvah haba b'avera itmar. Nami, we have a statement like this: Amar Rabbi Ami Yavish Pasal Misha Ein Hadar. That was just possible for all 7 days, not Hadar. Gazal, possible Mishum, the Halei Mitzvah, Avera. It's possible all 7 days because it's a Mitzvah of Avera. Pliga, the Rabbi Yitzchak. Argues on Rabbi Yitzchak. The Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Nachmani, Amar Shmuel Lo Shanu. Our mission is only talking about Yom Tov Rishon. Al Yom Tov Sheni, by Gazal, Mitoch Sheyotze B'Shol, Yotze Nami B'Gazal. Just like if you borrow someone's lulav on the second day, on Chol HaMoed, right? You're Yotze. Because even though it's not in Lachem, you only need the Lachem on the first day. So to Gazal, you steal it. Belongs to you, doesn't have to belong to you. Meister of Nachman Bar Yitzchak, Lulav Ha'Gazul Yavish Pasal. The Mishnah said, the Brisa says, Lulav Ha'Gazul and Yavish Pasal. Hashol kosher. It sounds like only it's Gazul, but if it's borrowed, it's kosher. Amos. When is this talking about? Ilim v'yom tov rishon ksiv lachem. Shol, a borrowed lulav is not good on the first day. You have to do a matana manas lahachzir, right? Shmuel, you're proficient in hilchos matana manas lahachzir.
No, I'm not.
David, אתה יודע איך לעשות מתנה על מנס החצר? כמו ביום טוב ראשון, צריך, אם אתה צריך הלולב של חברו, איך עושים את זה?
פשוט.
מה אומרים?
אתה אומר, היה לי, נתתי למישהו פעם טלית.
כן.
היה לי טלית, אז גם נתתי לו איזה מתנה על מנת להחזיר, שזה לא יהיה טלית שאולה, ואז הוא לא יברך עליה.
הוא החזיר לך? הוא החזיר לך?
כן.
מה היה אתה עושה לו אם אתה לא החזיר לך?
אז הוא לא יצא.
אבל אתה רוצה הטלית שלך, לא?
מה?
אם הוא לא החזיר את זה, מה אתה יעשה לו? ירביץ לו, כן. ירביץ לו, כן. זה מתנה להחזיר. מתנה להחזיר, אם הוא לא מחזיר את זה, צריך להרביץ אותו. לעשות לתת לו מכות, כן? זה שחוק, אבי, אבל אולי, כן.
אולי כן, what does that mean? Okay, let's go. Let's get back into English in the English section.
The Gemara says, Listen, this is a multi-ethnic shiur. You know, we include all ethnicity. How do you say it? All ethnic groups we include in our shiur,
Oh, yeah?
even Israeli speakers. All right. So anyway, the Gemara says Hashal kosher. If it's bar, it's kosher. Amos ilim yom tov rishon aksiv lachem mishalachem. I love the day. It doesn't belong to it. Elav. Or we talking. His price is talking yom tov sheni. So my cholamoy is on Gazal apostle. It says Gazal is apostle. So you see what? That obviously there's a din mitzvah avera. Rab Amar Laolam. You can answer Rabbi Yisrael maybe Yom Tov Rishon. Really, this price is doing Yom Tov Rishon. It's only possible on the first day. Let me buy Shol Delav Didehu. Why do you say Gazal? Because Shol doesn't have to say because it for sure doesn't belong to you. For sure, not Yotze. Aval Gazal. I might have how me Emastam Gzela Yesh Bailam Hu Kedidi Dami. Normally, when you steal something, it's like we can assume that the Bailam give up hope, and therefore you have Yesh. Once you have Yesh, therefore it becomes yours, even on the first day. Kamash Malan, we don't say that. We don't assume stam yish, stam gzela yish bailim. It's actually machlokes otherwhere in Shas, right? Shmuel in Maseches Krisos, right?
Oh, sure.
No, Baba Kama, not Krisos.
Okay.
Come on, Shmuel. Come on. All right. They didn't teach you this. Your Goldstein didn't teach you this in Machina.
I think we did learn. What was it you were saying?
It's a machlokes and Baba Kama,
yeah,
and Kuf Yudal. All right. All this Tanoim. Reb Shimon and Rabbanan. All right. So Amalu Rav Huna Lahanu Avankari. Rav Huna said to the merchants, the Jewish merchants who were collecting the hadassim. Now they just sell the hadassim in packages, right?
That's right.
It used to be that when I was younger in yeshiva, they used to have tables with all these hadassim. No kashrus on them. You had to go through the hadassim yourself to find the kasher one. You believe that? You're older than me. You remember those times? In Israel, you always got the package ones. You went for the package. He said to the merchants. Now it's easy. Judaism is easy. You have your hech sheirim. You have olive. How many olives can you put on it?
Everything is olive. Is there anything? Oh,
olive.
There's one olive, right? One olive is like only it's whatever 20 shekel, and the next one.
There's olive, and olive.
That's right.
Can't go wrong. All right.
Right.
Why buy the expensive one? Because avintu asam akum, when you buy a hadas from the goyim, lo sigzu asam, you shouldn't cut it down from the ground. Let the goyim cut it down. We have a luchu and give it to you. My timer. What's the reason you have to do this? Where are they getting these hadasim from? They stole the land. Goyim steal the land. Karka and Exelis. Halacha is that karka, even though it doesn't really transfer ownership, you steal karka, it still belongs to the original bailam, and therefore their yish, when they're miyayish from it, is ineffective because it's not really stolen. Because karka, let the goyim cut it down. Once they cut it down, then the yish takes effect because now it's metal and it's not karka anymore. They do. And when they give it to you, these merchants sell it to you, so then they'll have a yish and shina rishus, and yish and shina rishus works to be makne to you, and there's no problem of gzeila anymore.
Very nice.
And there's also no problem mitzvah bavera. Mitzvah bavera is only when there's yesh, but yesh shina rishus, there's no problem of mitzvah bavera. Is that correct? Sounds good, right? That seems to be the Gemara saying. So ki gazu avankari lahavu yish ba'alim biyadayu, v'shina rishus biyadan. So the Gemara says, why do they have to give it to you? We'll let the merchants cut it down themselves. It'll be yish ba'alim when they cut it down. V'shina rishus biyadan, and when they sell it to us, it'll be v'shina rishus. The ones that are using it for themselves, right? For us, for other people, they can cut it down. It'll be yesh in their hands, and when they do a shina rishus, they sell it to us, to the Jews. So it'll be yesh and shina rishus. But for their, if they just cut it down themselves, then it'll only be yesh, and there'll be no shina rishus. Therefore, let the goyim cut it down. It'll be yesh when the goyim cut it down in their hands. Then they transfer it to the avankari, to the merchants, and they'll have yesh and shina rishus. The merchants of the knu b'shina ma'isa. There's a lot of ways of being kona. You learn Baba Kama, right? You learn Maruba?
What?
Parak Maruba. David, אתה למדת פרק מרובה? הוא לא למד פרק מרובה, דוד.
הוא ענה.
Well, no.
באמת לא למדתי.
זה אין פרק מרובע, אתה אומר את זה
And
סתם.
I'll tell you, there's a funny story. One time, I learned Parak Merubah in yeshiva, and we had a test on it. And one of the questions, I knew all the answers to all the questions, but there was one question on the Tosfos. There's a very long Tosfos in Merubah. There's like one line on the daf, and the rest of the daf is Tosfos. I didn't even learn the Tosfos. It was too long for me. It was about Tuma and a Para, a Duma. I don't know. I was very confused. I was a young guy. You throw me Hilchos, Tuma, Tosfos. Tosfos is such a hard rishon. I can't learn Tosfos. Even nowadays, I don't learn Tosfos. So I didn't answer the question. So I just left it blank. But I was thinking in my mind, I said to myself, I have a great line just to write here. What's the line? Tafasta Meruba Tafasta. Tafasta Mua, lo Tafasta.
Very nice.
Right? You can't learn everything. It's a play on the words Meruba, because that was the Perek Meruba. Tafasta Meruba lo Tafasta. If you try to get a lot out of Meruba, the whole Meruba, you get most of it. So I got like a 94. The Rosh Hashiva wrote Nifla.
Really?
You wrote amazing.
Really?
That wasn't like such a compliment. You wrote Nifla to everyone. But there was one test, because I'll tell you the truth. In this yeshiva, if you write your own answers and you make your own svaros, you get a Nifla. Most of the questions were based on shiurim of the Rosh Hashiva. So if you answer the exact answers the Rosh Hashiva gave in his shiurim, then he wrote, I did that once. I actually did that once. He wrote a whole paragraph for me.
Really?
He's like, you have Behiras Tov, you have clarity in your learning. You're Ola Yafa Yafa. You're raising your madregas. You're going higher and higher and higher.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I felt so good afterwards.
Wow.
Then I'm like to myself, wait a second. I didn't give any of my own answers. I just gave what the Rosh Hashiva said. Is that what he wants? Just to copy his answers?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's not get into these.
Politics. All right, we'll settle for Nifla. Amazing in English.
Nifl, it's very nice.
Anyway, so Meruba talks about Yeush and Shina could be in Kona Gzela, Gezel. So the rest of the Gnu is Shina Maisel. It'll be Kona, the Hoshanas, the Hadasim, B'Shina Maisa. When you tie it together, when you do an eged, you tie it together. Because Lulav ain't Sarach eged. So this Amora held that Lulav doesn't need to tie it. Like the Rabban, not like Rabbi Yehuda. Even say Lomer Lulav Sarach eged. Even he'll tell me Allah you have to tie it. Shinei Chosha Libriasu. Shinei Chosha Libriasu lo Shmei Shina. Since you can untie it, it'll go back to being no Shina Maisa. It's not tied anymore. So therefore, it's called the Shinei Chosha Libriasu, and it's not called the Shinoi Ayin Baba Kama Daf
Gimel.
Tzadi Gimel. Alright, pretty good. Up by 90 Daf. Where it says, V'likniu b'shini Hashem, the Mikara Havali Asa, V'hashta Hoshana. There's another Shina you can be kona with. It changes names. When you do a Shina, you change the name to something. Originally, it was called an Asa. It was called a myrtle branch. V'hashta Hoshana. That's called Hoshanas. You do Hoshanas with it. It's a halachic hadasim. And where it says, Lamed Aleph and Aleph, Mikara Nami Asa Hoshana Karule. Really, people are very from, and when they go in the forest and they see hadas bushes, they don't say, oh, look, it's a myrtle bush. No, what do they say? That's a hadas over there. We can use it for hadasim, right? Whatever, shana, but it's another way of saying hadasim. Hoshana l'chag, Rashi says. You say hadasim, those are hadasim, right? Who was Hadassah?
Who?
Esther. Right? Esther was like a myrtle branch. Right?
No, he said that the answer is that it's also called, at the beginning they also called it
right, exactly. Not a Shina Shem. Before you use it for your lulav, it's called a myrtle branch. Afterwards, it's called a hada.
But even people say they call it a shana even at the beginning.
Right, exactly. It's not a Shina Hashem because that's what it's usually called. Because people are very from, and people, when they see branches, they don't appreciate, oh, this is genius philosophy, or family subvertive, whatever those things are. They don't say that. They say, this is my lulav, right?
Very nice.
When I was younger, I had a friend who used to cut down aravos.
Really?
There was my neighbor had an aravos bush, and he would let my friend cut him down. So he cut down all these aravos. He bundled them up, made a nice profit. They sold them for Hoshana Rabbah for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Made a nice profit. And because it was my neighbor's bush, he did all the work. And he split the money with me because it was my neighbor's bush. It's a pretty good deal,
That was
right?
a good deal.
Yeah, my first entry into business.
Wow, and that's how you started the
And
big,
that was the beginning of
big
history.
empire.
Yeah.
The big empire, the Benti and Lang Associates,
Rebel Enterprises, yes. It's up and coming.
Hadassim, Ashanis. Okay,
All right. Have a good Succah.
I
All right.
have a good
Bye.
Sukkot.
Bye.